Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hanging Out with Howie. I have two illustrious guests with me tonight from beautiful Maryland, from Carlisle Entertainment, Mr. Bill Walsh, and soothsayer of all things legal with music. Welcome, Bill.
Hello.
And my buddy from Boston, who I got to hang out with 2 weeks ago, DJ John C, and just we become real tight. So actually, a good wingman. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Nice to be here. How you doing, Howard?
So I was thinking, guys, hey, this is the last show before the holidays, and keep it upbeat. And what's more upbeat than music? And I don't know where it came from, but it just came into my head about how happy I was when I would be in a record store or a music store. So I thought maybe we could share one of your fondest memories or uplifting, experiences that happened at either a record or a music store. Who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead. Go.
All right.
As we've discussed before, I had all my CDs stolen on two different occasions.
Right.
98 and 2000. At the time, the first time it happened, we had a big CD and music store called Planet Music that was actually owned by the same corporate ownership as Borders.
Oh.
And Planet Music was it was the superstore for music. They had everything, every genre, every world category, you name it, they had it. But they just couldn't, this was before digital, but they just couldn't keep up, I guess, or whatever. But for whatever reason, they went out of business. And that happened to time in with when I lost all my music. The first time. So I went in with a shopping list, and one of the managers there that I got to know over the years helped me through that shopping list and put everything that we found in a box in the back and said, come back in 3 weeks. It'll all be $1 a CD.
Wow.
And yeah, it was like $400 or $500 worth of CDs at face value.
Wow.
And then he went in the office and made a copy of the list, and he said, I'm going to keep this and keep looking for other stuff. When I went back there, I dropped $187 at $1 a CD. And he covered a whole bunch. The same thing happened to me, same manager, 2 years later, when it was all stolen again. He was at a Borders Books that just happened. They were closing that location. They weren't even like closing, obviously Borders wasn't closed then, but they were just moving that location to a different location in the same town, like a newer shopping center. But they were doing a whole inventory blowout there. And he did the same thing. He boxed up a bunch of stuff, sold them all to me for $1 a CD. And then at the very end, when they were like down to the, what was left, he said, you can have anything in here you want for a quarter.
Wow. I'll take it all.
Yeah. I pretty much did. I bought a ton. I bought a ton of classical, and that was how I found a series called the Pickin' On series, which was bluegrass covers of rock music and other contemporary stuff. It was neat. So yeah.
Ah, very good. All right. How about you, John?
Oh, well, my happy days with music were probably 81, 82. I used to sit every Saturday morning from about 10 till noon with Casey Kasem, and I would write out by hand the American Top 40 from 40 all the way down to number 1 every week. I'd make little check marks of the ones I wanted to go pick up at the record store when I got my little part-time job money. So our store out here was Strawberries Records and Tapes. This is before Tower Records and all the big ones came along. Just it was a smaller place, smaller New England chain. So you'd have the 1 week's list, and if you didn't have the money, you'd wait. Then you get the next week's list, and you'd highlight the ones that were new on the new week, and highlight the ones that disappeared off the old week. And you say, well, these are the ones I got to make sure I get. And I'd go in and I'd get all my little 45s and come home and make all little mixtapes for myself. So shopping for the music was the love of the music, and then getting to play them out for people. This was right around time, almost about when I got my license. But we always had cassette players around, when we're all hanging out, and hey, check out this song or listen to this song, and we would always exchange music ideas. And it helped build a community. I knew all the kids on my street because I always had the best tunes. My porch was the place to hang out. And then I had a cousin who probably in about 84, 85 decided he wanted to go to the record convention that was coming to town. It was specifically Beatles, but it pretty much had everything. So reluctantly dragged me along. I'm like, oh, the Beatles. It was a little pre my time, but I'd just go along to keep him company. And I started flipping through the non-Beatles materials, and I found some Australian pressings of AC/DC records, and I found some rare Van Halen bootleg records, and I'm like, it's well worth coming to this party. And I probably left with $200 or $300 worth of stuff that I had no intention of buying that day. But the love of music and what it does, and to have some rarities that no one else has, it's just the joy of being able to share music that didn't get to these shores for probably 20 years later until box sets came out, and now of course everything is everywhere on the internet. But it was yours. It was your own little piece of happiness that you could hold for a little while, and that was a great time.
Well, then for me, it would have to be the networking. I met so many people, because I was in bands, and I know that you were in bands because I saw your drum set there at your place there, John. Yeah, here it is, little drummer boys. But just hanging out, because we still to this day have mom and pop music stores, which is kind of cool that they survived the pandemic. And there's just something different about that than a large chain, which shall remain unnamed, that it's a little community. And I can remember back, but when, John, you're good with this. When did the song "In the Bush" come out? Push, push in the bush. What year was that?
Late 70s, early 80s.
Late 70s, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking 78 or so. Okay. And I'm in a local record store and music store as well. And I see a professor from Rutgers University there. I didn't know he was a professor, and he didn't know what I did, but we had music as a common bond. And this was when they would play a song for you. You could say, "Hey man, can I hear this?" And they would put it on, and it just, we got to chatting, and he goes, "Oh, well," he revealed what he's doing, that he's a professor. And I said, "Yeah, I'm working in New York City at Max's." He goes, "New York City? I live in New York City." He said, "And I commute and I teach at Rutgers here in New Brunswick." He said, "Hey, I'm putting together a little cafe in New York, and it's going to be called the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Now it's world famous." And the very first one, he said, "So you do lights and sound at Max's. Can I hire you to do an install of lighting and sound for me?" And I was like, "Sure." So we went to Alphabet City to this old Irish bar, and they gutted it with the exception of the bathrooms and the bar. And then they put a stage up, and typical small tables with whatnot. And I installed a very basic sound system and lighting system for these poets and artists and stuff. And from there, that launched into, oh, you have to meet this person, you have to meet that person. And I started to meet some very famous people. And then the next, the rest is history, as they say. So that was my experience and my joy that I got out of, hanging out at these places, So are you guys, anybody here planning on giving the gift of music as a holiday gift this year?
Yeah. I well, it's something I do every year. I make a compilation of Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of like a family gift. I don't give it to, a bunch of people. I make it.
Right.
And it's here played, throughout Christmas Day. It's enough to cover 2-3 hours without hearing the same song twice.
Ah, very nice.
And a couple of different CDs.
Mm-hmm.
And that all started, it's something I probably, again, the first Christmas I had a CD burner, whenever that was. And I honestly can't remember which one it was, but I've done it ever since.
Well, I still have, the computers don't come with them anymore, but I have the external one here. And I actually prefer, because sometimes it's cheaper on Amazon to buy the CD than it is to buy the MP3 download. I don't know how that's possible, but they're going to mail me something $3 cheaper, which I can burn at a higher quality rate. So I'm like, I bought the
our surplus. They're trying to get rid of them.
What's up with that? I'll never understand that. It's digital and it's $12, but if you buy the CD, it's only $8. And I'm like, well, okay, give me the CD,
And they still end up giving you the digital download if it's already been ripped.
Yeah, if you want it, I don't take it because it's only $256, and I want to rip it to at least $320. But I have the Now series of the Christmas stuff, so I could do the same like you do, Bill. I could just put it on autoplay just for family type things like that. How about you, John? You giving the gift of music this year?
Goodness. I've been given the gift of music for the last 52 weeks, 3 nights a week. People are sick of hearing about me.
Yes.
And, going into, Christmas Eve weekend, we'll probably be doing the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe even New Year's as well.
Oh, very nice.
Nothing on the calendar right now. And we have some restrictions and some cold temps. So I don't think the crowds are going to be out as much as, a lot of people will be doing New Year's at home, I think. So we'll do a broadcast and we'll give it to the world that way, so they can get in tune if they like. So
now, Bill, I saw that you had a couple of holiday events, and I guess everybody knows I'm heading up to Lake Placid on Wednesday to do help Eric out up there for the day before Christmas Eve. We'll be doing a show there on a large stage. And how about you, John? Anything going on?
Not till after the turn of the year. Then there's a couple of holiday parties that are still in the big gift bubble right now. So hopefully
yeah. But you will be on your Twitch, though, correct?
We'll be doing my DJ John C83, having some fun with that. So excellent. Super good.
Any final thoughts there, Bill, before we put the fork in it, so to speak, for the Christmas season?
Since you asked about the holiday party thing, sorry.
No problem.
Talk over you. Since you're asking about the holiday party thing, that what became the outdoor cocktail hour party the other night, that nursing or retirement community, they also have me booked for New Year's Eve. And I had to say, nice. When that question came about after doing the first event I did back in October for them, I was thrilled. I was like, that is the party I want to do on New Year's Eve. And we worked it all out. They were cool with my price, and everything's all good. And tomorrow they will be learning whether or not New Year's Eve will even happen because of COVID.
Oh, yes. The new thing I noticed on my national news, they closed Broadway, Saturday Night Live, and so forth. Let's hope that, as the song said, let's hope it's a good year.
Yeah,
without any fear.
So, 2022 will be all guns blazing coming forward, and we get out from under this cloud would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, what you say that you're doing? Is it a senior show? Is that what you had said it was?
It's a retirement community.
Okay. That'll be fun though. That'll be fun. That's a fun age group.
Yeah. It's, and the coolest thing with them, like I said, at the last event, just seeing people toe tapping was enough for me.
Oh yeah.
But every now and then, 2 or 3 couples would get up. Didn't matter what, they'd get up, they'd dance. Everybody enjoy watching them dance. And 2 songs later, they were done. And I just kind of rolled through 50s, 60s, 70s. I even did a couple 80s songs because that party was supposed to be like an anniversary party for the community. And they couldn't decide whether it was their 34th or their 35th anniversary. So I played songs from 87 and 88.
That's good. Well, you covered all the bases, and they probably said, they're probably, no, it was 87, 88. Now they're still arguing about it. Yeah.
Yep.
If you're dancing the music into the 1980s, I don't have to send you any jitterbugs then.
Yeah.
Well, I played quite a few of those as well. And that was another thing. And I'm going to say this because maybe it's a note for other DJs to hear. When I do those events, I don't play top 20, 50 songs. I mean, I'll play a few, but I'm going to dig deep in the Time Life type stuff and or artist greatest hits and play the tracks that you don't hear in every 50s movie soundtrack.
Right.
And one lady came up to me and said, I haven't heard that Ricky Nelson song since I was in love with Ricky Nelson.
Well, now.
And I thought that was great.
So awesome. You have a new fan now. That's great. All righty, guys. Thank you so much for being on. And everyone out there, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Thank you so much. It's been a great year for us here. And we will see you next week before the end of the year. If you have any ideas or questions, topics, send them my way, and we'll see you then. Good night, everybody.